Okay, real talk. Have you ever walked into a meeting completely prepared? You know everything about the topic, but then someone says, let's circle back on this, or can you loop me in later? And suddenly you're just sitting there like, what does that even mean? Like your brain just goes completely blank.
Oh my gosh, yes. That happened to me in my first job. My manager said, let's table this for now. And I genuinely thought he meant we were going to discuss it, like put it on the table, right? But actually, in American English, that means the opposite. It means we're going to stop talking about it. I was so confused. I kept waiting for the discussion, and it never came.
That's such a good example. And honestly, that kind of thing happens to so many people, even people who have studied English for years, because office English, it's its own little world.
It really is. It's like a secret language inside a language.
Exactly. And that's what today's episode is all about. Welcome, everyone, to the Daily English Conversation Club. I'm Zara.
And I'm Leo. And we're so happy you're here today because this episode, this one is going to be genuinely useful. Like save it and listen again useful.
Yes, and before we get into it, we have a question for you right from the start. We want to know, what's the most confusing phrase you've ever heard at work or in an office situation? Drop it in the comments below. We read every single one, and honestly, some of your comments from previous episodes had us laughing for days.
Seriously, keep them coming. And if you haven't subscribed yet to the Daily English Conversation Club, please do. Hit that subscribe button. Share this episode with a friend who's learning English because we're building something really special here, and we want you to be part of it.
Okay, so Leo, let's set the scene for today. We're talking about office English, but I want to start with something that I think a lot of learners don't think about, and that is why office English feels so different from regular English.
Right. And I think it comes down to a few things. First, office language is very indirect. Like, people don't always say what they mean directly. In everyday conversation, you might say, I don't agree with you. But in a professional setting, you're more likely to hear something like, that's an interesting point. I wonder if we could also consider...
Which means the same thing, just wrapped in politeness.
Exactly. And that indirectness, it's not dishonest, it's not fake, it's just a cultural style of communication that says, I respect you, I respect this relationship, even when I disagree. And once you understand that, the language starts to make so much more sense.
That's such a great way to put it. And you know, another big thing is that office English is full of what I call shortcut phrases. These are phrases that carry a lot of meaning in just a few words, like, I'll get back to you on that. 4 words, simple, but it communicates, I heard you, I'm not ignoring you, but I need time before I can answer properly.
And that phrase alone, I'll get back to you, that could save you in so many awkward moments. Someone asks you something in a meeting and you don't know the answer, instead of going silent or saying, I don't know, you say calmly, great question, let me get back to you on that. Suddenly, you sound completely professional.
You went from panicking to polished in one sentence. I love that.
That's actually a good way to think about these phrases. They're not just vocabulary, they're social tools. They help you manage situations, buy time, show respect, all at the same time.
And that's the real power of learning office English. It's not just about sounding good. It's about feeling confident, knowing that no matter what someone throws at you in a meeting or at the coffee machine or in an email, you have the right words.
Yes, and confidence changes everything, honestly. When you feel like you belong in a conversation in any language, your whole energy shifts. You stop holding back, you start contributing, and people notice that.
So we're going to give you the tools to feel exactly that way. In this episode, we're going through real practical office phrases, the kind you'll actually use, not the textbook stuff, the real stuff.
The stuff that no one teaches you, but everyone expects you to know. Let's go.
Okay, so let's actually get into some phrases. And I want to start with a category that I think trips people up the most. Phrases you use in meetings, because meetings have their own special energy, right? There's this unspoken pressure to say the right thing at the right moment.
Oh, totally. and meetings can feel really intimidating, especially if English isn't your first language. Like everyone's talking fast, using shorthand, jumping between ideas, and you're trying to follow along and think about what you want to say and translate in your head all at the same time. It's a lot.
It is a lot. So let's break it down. The first phrase I want to talk about is, could you clarify what you mean by that? Or even simpler, sorry, could you say that again?
And I just want to stop there for a second because so many learners feel embarrassed to ask someone to repeat themselves. Like they think, oh, if I ask again, people would think I'm not smart or I wasn't paying attention. But honestly, it's the opposite.
Completely the opposite. Asking for clarification shows that you are engaged. It shows you care about understanding correctly. Native speakers do it all the time. I do it all the time.
Me too. I was in a call last month. Everyone was speaking English. It was my language, and I still had to say, sorry, I didn't catch that last part. Could you repeat? And no one blinked because it's normal.
So give yourself permission to ask. Okay, next phrase. And this one is gold. Just to make sure I understand. This is a phrase you use when you want to confirm something, like the other person has explained something and you want to repeat it back in your own words to check you got it right.
Right, so you might say something like, just to make sure I understand, you want me to send a report by Friday, not Thursday, right? And the other person either says, yes, you're correct, or they go, oh, wait, actually, I meant Thursday, and now you've avoided a mistake.
It's such a simple habit, but it saves so much confusion. And here's the thing, it's also a sign of professionalism. It shows you're thorough, you're careful, you don't just assume.
Let me tell you a quick story about this. When I first started working in an international company, my manager gave me instructions very quickly, and I nodded along like I understood everything, but I didn't. I was too nervous to ask again. So I went back to my desk, guessed what she meant, did the whole task, and I did it completely wrong. Had to redo everything, the whole afternoon. Gone.
Oh no.
Yes, and all because I didn't say 5 words, just to make sure I understand. After that, I made it my rule. No matter how simple the instruction, I always confirm. And my manager actually told me later. She said, Leo, I love how you always double check. It saves us both time. Like she saw it as a strength.
That's such a perfect example. And okay, listeners, here's your moment. We want you to think about this. Is there a time at school or work where you didn't ask for clarification and it caused a problem? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to hear your stories.
Yes, comment below. We're building this community together, and your stories make the show so much better.
Okay, let's keep going. We talked about meetings. Now let's talk about something people do every single day at work, talking to colleagues casually. This is called small talk. And small talk in English, especially office small talk, has its own rhythm.
Yeah, and small talk is one of those things that sounds easy, but actually requires a specific kind of skill. Because it's not really about exchanging information, it's about building a connection. It's social glue.
I like that, social glue. So what are some of the most common small talk phrases at the office?
Okay, so classics. How's your week going? Not bad. Keeping busy. Any plans for the weekend? Ah, just the usual. These phrases don't have to be deep. They're just warm. They're how you show someone, I see you, I'm friendly, we're on the same team.
And you know what I find really interesting? In some cultures, jumping straight into the task without any small talk can feel cold or even rude. But in others, it's normal and efficient. So office small talk is also a little bit cultural. It depends on the company, the country, the team.
That's a really good point. And for English learners, I'd say when in doubt, lean toward friendly. A quick hey, how are you? Before asking a question or sending an email. It costs you nothing, but it builds a lot of goodwill.
Okay, let's shift now to email phrases because, ooh, email is a whole world.
It really is. And emails are actually where I see learners struggle the most because you have time to think and write, but that also means there's more pressure to get it right. You overthink every word.
So let's make it simple. The most important thing about office emails in English is tone. You want to be polite but clear, warm but not too casual, professional but not cold.
And there are some phrases that do that work automatically. Like, I hope this email finds you well. Classic. Everyone knows it. It's a warm opener. Or please find attached instead of just, here's the file. Or I look forward to hearing from you instead of right back soon.
These little upgrades, they're tiny, but they change the whole feeling of an email. And here's a myth I want to bust real quick. A lot of learners think that using more complicated words makes their English sound better in emails, like they search for a fancy synonym instead of a simple word.
And it almost always backfires. Honestly, the best office emails in English are simple, clear, and direct. Short sentences, no unnecessary words. If a simple word works, use it.
Say help, not facilitate. Say send, not transmit. Say use, not utilize. Simple wins.
Every time. Okay, and before we move on, subscribe to Daily English Conversation Club if you haven't already. Share this episode with someone you know who's studying English or working in an English environment. You might just change their day or their career.
Seriously. Okay, part 3 coming up. We're wrapping everything together, doing a vocabulary drop, a little grammar insight, and we've got a mini challenge for you. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. We're in the home stretch, and I want to kick off this final part with something I think is really underrated, and that is the phrase, I'll take care of it.
Oh, I love that one. So simple, so powerful.
Right? Because when someone asks you to do something and you say, I'll take care of it, it does so much in 3 words. It says, I heard you, I'm responsible, don't worry. It shows confidence. It shows ownership. It's one of those phrases that just lands well in an office environment.
Compare that to saying, okay, I will try to do it, which sounds uncertain and a bit weak, even if your intention is the same. The words you choose really do shape how people perceive you.
Yes, and that leads perfectly into our vocabulary drop for today. So let's do this. Light and natural, not a lesson, just some highlights from everything we talked about.
Okay, first one, loop me in. This means include me in the conversation or email chain. So someone might say, hey, if there are any updates on the project, loop me in. Very common, very natural.
Next, touch base. This means to make quick contact with someone. I'll touch base with you later this week. It just means I'll check in with you.
Follow up, to continue a conversation or check on the progress of something. I'm just following up on my email from last week. People use this constantly.
On the same page. This means everyone understands and agrees. Before we start, let's make sure we're all on the same page. So useful in meetings.
And wrap up, to finish something. Let's wrap up this meeting. I need to wrap up this report before 5. Excellent phrase for endings.
Beautiful. Okay, now for our soft grammar moment. And I promise we're keeping this very chill. Today's insight is about modal verbs in the office. Specifically, could, would, and might. Because in office English, the way you ask for something changes everything.
Okay, yes. So instead of saying, give me the report, in a professional context, you'd say, could you send me the report? Or even softer, would you be able to send me the report when you get a chance?
The word could softens a request. It turns a command into a question. And would you be able to? That one is extra polite. You're acknowledging that the person has their own tasks, and you're respecting their time.
And might is great for uncertainty. I might need some help with this later. You're not demanding anything. You're just gently planting a seed. It's soft communication. And in professional environments, soft communication is often the most powerful.
I really love that. Soft but powerful. That's the vibe. Okay, your mini challenge for this week. We want you to use at least 3 phrases from today's episode in a real situation this week. Could be at work, at school, in an email, even in a role play with a friend. And then come back to the comments and tell us which phrases you used and how it went.
We're going to be looking for your comments. This is your homework, but it's fun homework, I promise. Because using new language in real life is how it actually sticks. Not just listening, doing.
Yes, and now for our big idea recap, because every episode of Daily English Conversation Club ends with a zoom out moment. So, what's the big takeaway from today?
I think it's this. Office English isn't just about having the right vocabulary. It's about understanding that language is a social tool. Every phrase you use carries not just meaning, but tone, relationship, and intention. When you understand that, you stop being a language learner and start being a communicator.
Beautifully said, Leo. And I'd add, don't wait until you're fluent to start using these phrases. Start now. Use them imperfectly. Get us slightly wrong. That's fine. That's how you learn. The office is a real place with real stakes and real rewards. And the sooner you dive in, the faster you grow.
This is our Daily English Conversation Club's signature moment, where we remind you every conversation is a step forward. Don't wait for perfect. Speak now.
I love that so much. Okay, now for our friendly outro. Thank you so much for being here today. Honestly, recording this episode was so fun, and I hope you felt like you were just sitting with us having a real conversation.
That's always the goal. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to Daily English Conversation Club. Leave a comment, give us a like. It genuinely helps us reach more learners around the world. And share it. Send it to one friend who's learning English. One person. That's all we ask.
And don't forget, we want to hear from you. What's the most confusing office phrase you've ever heard? What phrases from today are you going to try first? Comment below. We read everything.
Next week is going to be so good. We're talking about how to talk on the phone in English. The tone, the phrases, the awkward silences, all of it. You do not want to miss it.
It's going to be so helpful. We'll see you there. Until then, keep talking, keep practicing, and remember.
Every conversation is a step forward. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.